Hey, everybody. Welcome to Growing Up Chestnut. I'm Mike, the host, and my co-host is my sister,
Becky.
Can you talk louder? Becky. I got two microphones. Okay. So we're here with Les and Leila today to share.
Les and Weila?
Did I say Les and Weila?
Yes, you did.
We're with Les and Leila.
I almost had an out-of-body experience. Usually it's me talking that.
Hey, so see, it's going to be a great episode. Stay tuned for this episode of Wes and... Oh, wait. Leila? Weila and Wes?
No. Yeah, Leila. You go first.
Wes and Leila. Someone like that. Hey guys, I'm sorry that your mother really messed that up, that intro and everything, but
That's
hey,
bad if I could do it better than that.
Amateurs.
Yeah.
So this is Becky's oldest son.
Only son, unless there's one that I don't know about.
Well, that would make you the oldest too, right? You guys got me like wrong with names tonight and wrong with birth
number of gendered kids that she has. And...
I'm sorry, my cluster's high today. So anyways, take that from Mitty Chestnut. But,
yeah, you get a lot.
But we asked Wes and Leila to be on the show with us today to tell some of the great stories of life living in our family. Leila loves being part of the Chestnut Carry crew, don't you?
100%. Very honored.
So
I think we're the ones that are honored.
So do your parents watch this, Leila, at all?
Probably not.
So
should they not? I could
Yeah, we might.
Don't watch this episode.
Don't
Just skip this week,
particular
all right?
episode.
Skip this episode, Mom and Dad. We're not going to say nothing about you. I can't promise. But anyways, so we wanted to share some funny stories with the group. And one of the things is Wes and Leila Wes just got out of the military, right? You were in the military for how long?
13 years.
13 years. Then Leila went into the military.
Right after that.
Correct.
90 days of overlap.
Yeah.
90 days of overlap. That had to be fun. So 90 days of overlap. That means you crossed each other going?
I was going in. He was coming out.
Yeah.
So then he had to be the stay-at-home dad. Well, I went away, which was not the norm.
It was definitely different. Yeah.
I did it for 13 years, and I think he was done after the first 13 days.
Our poor kids would be really in bad shape if that was the case. So
it was good.
Did you have diapers or anything you had to change? Okay.
So no, Ziggy was still. He didn't potty train until we got to North Carolina. So because of his health issues.
So there's still some of that. Yeah, just because of Ziggy's health issues and whatnot.
By special forces.
Listen, no, I think what it was, I think a lot of that was just he was terrified of what Fia would do to him if he was still vulnerable. So,
true story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So, anyways, question: do you guys have any good stories in your head that you want to start off with sharing?
Oh, what are we talking military-wise?
On our show, Wes, we do not discriminate.
Well, let's just say no. I was 13 years. Wes was in the military. Was gone 75% of that time, all the time. He was gone all the time. Mm-hmm. I go to basic training, which is all of 9 weeks, whatever.
You had 9 weeks.
9 weeks basic training. I come back. Well, I don't come back after basic training, but after basic training, when I get my phone back and can actually start scrolling through social media, I realize my daughter's throwing knives now.
And she did very well.
She's pretty good at it. Yeah. She really took to it pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah. So the difference between when a man and a woman is in the military and who's watching the children, like for instance, when Wesley came back from his deployments, I made cute little shirts for the family. I decorated the car. Welcome home, Daddy. All this stuff. I come home from deployment. My kids are in the airport holding signs that say, welcome home from prison, Mom. Oh, that's how the difference when Dad is in charge and when Mom's in charge.
It was fun times. It was good.
Well,
Or, yeah.
you know, I like that. You know,
It was good.
it's
It was funny.
Yeah. What was great was the look of concern from all the people in the airport as my kids are opening up their signs.
Yeah, but did you see, if you look at the pictures and see the kids' faces as they're writing this?
Yeah.
That was really good.
It was really funny.
I don't know. They must
I
have
don't
blocked you from there.
I did. Block.
Mike isn't actually on our social media.
So
He's like, wait, y'all have social media?
Right?
This is the one we give Mike, everybody. Okay.
Right.
So, well, good.
Man.
So, how was basic training though?
For me or for him? We have two totally different stories on basic
Two
training.
completely different
Yeah.
experiences.
Well, let's hear
The
about
Army has changed.
Oh man, you want to start with yours?
Mine is, no. The only thing hard with mine was I don't like getting yelled at, but I was such an older age that I think I realized that it didn't really matter. But mine was, the problem I had going through was the Army has gotten, I don't know if you want to say weaker, but they've gotten more.
The this current generation of youngsters evidently have very weak bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had to take, every night we had to eat these special bars to like strengthen our bones. And so what was hard was when the drill sergeants would be like, your generation. And I'm like, I'm not part of this generation. I joined the Army like right before the cutoff, like right before it's, you're too old, we don't want to. So I enlisted the day before my 35th birthday. So you have to imagine, I went to basic training with 18 and 19-year-olds. These kids literally could have been my kids, and they started calling me mom, which
did wonders for her self-esteem.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not your mom. It was so crazy.
I want to be your mom.
Yeah,
Right.
no. So that was the hardest for me when they kept lumping me into like your generation. I'm like, but it's not I played outside growing up. Like my bones are good, but I'll take the bars because I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we kind of laughed because we were talking about like when we got in trouble, like when Wesley got in trouble, it was called smoking them. Like they would make them work out for like ever on end. And we were only allowed to, like, technically they could only make us do like 10 push-ups at a time.
Not us.
That's hilarious.
Really?
I remember doing push-ups
Amber
until
makes
there
me
was
do more than that around the house.
Right.
So it was kind of embarrassing to be like, oh, I went to basic training, but you tell them when you went and you're like, oh, okay.
There's a joke. It's like an inside military joke. So anybody that's been in the military for any length of time, they all know the old crusty guys that, you know, they're always like, well, when I was in, when it was hard, you know. Well, now you can actually say that and it actually means something, you know. It's like it's so when I went in and they smoked us.
You didn't get snack bars when you went in?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. Like that's something that you avoided like the plague if you were smart, right?
Yeah.
So like I remember we would go to the dining facility. We would go to chow at night, and every night we knew this one kid. He was a little big boned, if you will. When he first got there, he had no willpower, and like so, the only cake they had was carrot cake, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody that likes carrot cake. I've never like
my wife.
If you
My
do,
wife's the
I love
only
carrot
person
cake.
that I know that likes.
No,
my sister.
I love carrot cake.
So women.
very many. So what I'm getting at is like, it's not a big popular thing, right? But this kid, every single time he was at the chow hall. But the problem is they had this saying at basic it was calories in, calories out. If you eat cake, we're gonna work it out of you, and they did. I mean, they didn't take it out on the guy. It was mass punishment, right? So if one guy ate the cake, we were all 42 of us on our platoon were out there just getting wrecked. And we were doing push-ups for so long that it looked like you could have mopped the floor with our sweat. That's how much moisture was on the floor, right? It was disgusting, right? But that's how they did it. I mean, did you
guys finally convince them to quit eating cake?
Yes, but I'll just leave it at that.
He was persuaded, huh?
He was very keenly persuaded to stop eating cake. Yes.
I never did that, like the ice cream. I wasn't brave enough because I knew that they would make us throw it up.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Calories in, calories
I
out.
always wonder what do they do with like recruits that come in like that have my disease, IBS,
They send you home.
Because I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, actually,
you just
heard a story about that last night from one of our friends. He was a drill sergeant. He was like, man, you would have no idea how many times as a drill sergeant I got called in to one of the classrooms because one of the trainees crapped themselves during the class.
That would be me.
which is always allowed. That was one thing you could do. You could go to the restroom. Like we were like allowed to. We had to have a battle buddy. Like we couldn't go by ourselves.
Wait, a bow buddy or a battle buddy?
Battle buddy.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bow buddy. I'm like, I
No.
got one of those. Amber.
No, not me though. No, we weren't allowed to just get up and go to the bathroom. Like if you got up, they're like, "Why are you falling asleep in my class?"
Oh yeah, because if you're falling asleep, you got to stand up.
And so when we're like, "Well, I'm not falling asleep, but I do have to go to the bathroom," they're like, "Oh, my class just isn't important." And then again, everybody would get smoked, and it's a puddle of sweat again. Because one guy
breaks.
We got to go to the bathroom, but we didn't have toilet paper half the time, so that wasn't fun. Yeah.
That reminds me of Lily Jarrett's house. But anyways, okay.
We're not talking about you right now.
That's pretty normal.
Well, interesting. So, I wouldn't make it in the military.
No,
Neither would you.
no, I wouldn't.
military.
What?
But maybe today's military. Maybe today's army.
Oh, I could, or Michael could.
Michael no,
Probably both.
probably both.
I'll take it. You want to go to the military with me?
No.
We get snacks.
Bones.
Yeah, but
Your weak bones.
that'll hurt your stomach. You have to have a bowel movement.
Although
So
we didn't
what
get to go to that.
So, what was the most embarrassing thing going in the military that you had to do?
Going in the military?
Yeah, being in the military. Was there anything that was
Physical.
Yeah, the physical was not pleasant. You're in a room with everybody, and you're like had to strip down, do the duck walk.
Do the duck walk. Everybody does the duck walk naked.
Yeah, the duck walk.
Yeah, it's exactly how it sounds.
You squat and walk. Squat and walk.
Like a duck.
Like
Like
a duck.
literally like a
You don't even
duck.
have to
You
quack.
waddle.
You just squat
No,
and
you
walk.
don't have to quack.
I do that every
Most
time.
of them
I went
guys
to the
did.
park in the house.
They didn't get in though.
You don't squat? We're telling our version of it.
Yeah, it's a good thing we weren't in the military. So,
Yeah, that physical.
Yeah, the physical was bad. It was
Like
a bit
going in,
ridiculous. Yeah. Not that it was hard. It was just like
No,
this
it's-
was just the most humiliating thing I've ever done in my life.
And then
Yeah.
you go to basic and have to like have open showers. And you're like, oh, this is what we're
This
getting.
is why.
That's why
Okay,
we're
and
getting
now-
used to
now we're
this.
good. Okay.
so no curtains.
It's open. Open means no curtains.
You had like 2
Prison
minutes
showers.
to shower.
Prison showers.
Yeah.
Prison shower. Okay, now you're talking my language. Me and Leila, prisoners, inmates. What?
You're an idiot. Oh,
That's like twice she's called me an idiot today
I heard.
I heard the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
that I heard.
that
So,
you heard.
anyway.
So had grown up into her dad was a missionary to Germany. And you lived in Germany for a long time. And I know that
17
when
years.
you came, 17 years, and when you came back here to college, there was a lot of, it was different for you, wasn't it? You had a
It
lot
was
of
culture shock. Yeah, it was hard.
And then you got to meet the Carries, it's like,
Yeah, it did. Then I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's how Wes got.
She
her
got the
even
prize.
formal.
well, they both were like preachers' kids.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they have some things in common. And actually,
Mhm. I actually knew a lot of the same people.
Yeah, we do.
didn't know
Come
then,
to
but
find
we-
out, we went to a lot of the same camp meetings and never
Yes.
even realized that we were there.
Yes, and knew the same preachers, and I mean it's funny. Sometimes
It
she'll
was
say,
crazy.
"Yeah," and we're like, "You know them?" Because they would show up at church or something, and we were all like,
Yep.
It was weird.
"Oh, you know them too."
So Leila, I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you a personal question,
Yes.
okay?
Sure.
So tell me your favorite mother-in-law story.
I've given them too much of it. There's a lot of them.
You can break it down to 5 if you need to.
I don't know if we have time for
what's
that.
your favorite mother-in-law story?
No, my favorite mother-in-law story. What is my favorite? Now I got to think about that. See, this is something you asked me beforehand.
No, because then we like the spontaneous. Wes told us about the chicken
You can
and all that
pass.
stuff.
And how
when
you
you
were
f-
happy when you learned.
So
For sure. Like, I learned the language, and that was just like a huge thing.
She knew she was in.
I knew I was
She was in like Flynn.
yes.
Yeah, Bill was telling that story the other day, yesterday actually. Said something about, and I guess I don't even know sometimes when I say it. Sometimes I do, and I hope nobody notices it.
You know,
But I said it, and he was trying to explain it, and I'm like, what are you talking? He goes, "You just said chicken." I go, "Oh, okay. Go ahead and explain it."
well,
then."
me and Becky, we get our words back. Like when I was trying to introduce, I call them Weila and Les.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh.
like Ron and Bonnie Cunningham, I always called them Bonnie and
Ron, I call him
Bon
Bon
and
and
Ron.
Ron.
Just did
You
it.
just
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I call him that too.
So how's Bon
Dear-
and Ronnie doing? And then we had
No.
Vicky and Larry at Harmony. I always call them
Licky and Perry.
Oh my gosh.
At least you didn't call him Perry Licky.
Once again, Mike, this is not about you. People go on.
So yeah, well,
Yeah, we both.
me and Becky are never allowed to say people's names
And I
that
talk-
are.
I hear that.
I talk backwards.
Remember when she was trying to combine our names? Was this before we even started dating? Because we were both into the same thing. And we were,
So I remember what was it? We were at Taco Bell after church one night, and we were talking about what we wanted to do, and then my sisters and mom decided that we needed to do our own detective agency.
yes, because I had a degree in criminal justice,
Yes.
and then Wes that was
I just wanted to
something
do
he was
something.
interested in.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we should think of a name. We can combine your names.
And that was
And
probably
I
one of the
think-
scariest conversations I've ever.
We
been a
weren't
part
even
of.
dating. I don't even think
No.
we were not dating. I was engaged to someone else.
Yeah.
So we weren't dating. But
Oh wow!
yeah.
Kind of proud of that one
This is
though.
what
Yeah.
made you fall in love, huh? Okay, this is a love story.
Named Lewis.
What? That's
That's what
it
it
was.
was. It was Lewis.
Lewis. Yeah.
They
Not even Lewis. It was Lewis.
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 That's the
Lewis.
name that our
That's the
names
best
combined,
they
yeah.
could come up with.
Lewis.
You know we were kidding around, don't you?
My whole name
Lewis.
is
That's
Cindy.
what I'm gonna have to be calling you guys for now on. That's
Lewis.
And that's why she
Like-
wrote her fiance and
That's why.
his family.
I mean, how could you pass that up? How could you
Name.
pass that up?
I know.
she said they
I just-
would help us. They would help me in my life.
Literally couldn't come up with anything better than
Oh, we probably could have,
Lewis.
but we weren't going to.
What's the point?
I'm glad you stopped there because I was scared to see where that was going to go. So
Oh man.
Oh, we used to always get in trouble with
Yeah, we know.
our words. Greg never had that problem though.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah, he just didn't care.
Oh, that's probably true. That is probably true. Greg didn't care.
He tried to act like he didn't care. I think. Yeah, he had trouble sometimes. He still does.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not about Greg. He's not here.
Yeah.
So, anyways, how about sibling stories?
She's got a lot of them.
Three siblings.
See, I got Gigi from her sister Julie's.
Yes.
Firstborn.
True story. Yeah.
Yes.
You were Gigi from Julie's first.
Because
Yeah.
they would go off and do have fun. And
Yeah. We were together
I
all
would
the
watch
time.
Jared, which was fun for me. And So we got, what is he going to call me? Because he did call me something or something. I don't remember. But anyway, he threw up down my back. He threw up down the phone.
Yeah, he did.
It was always
He marked you.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mom decided she wanted to be called Gorgeous Goddess,
Yeah.
and we said no.
Everybody said no.
So we realized Gigi was like going to be popular.
Yep.
Like she wanted to be called Gorgeous Goddess. It wasn't because we're like, oh, Gigi's a cool name. It was literally short
For
for Gorgeous Goddess.
And really, nobody was called Gigi that I knew of back then.
No, I didn't know anybody called
You
that.
started a trend.
I did.
Gorgeous Goddess.
Jared started the trend.
Amber wanted me and her to be Lolly and Pop.
Yes, that's what Donnie Noble and Sherry Noble.
Oh, are you serious? Donnie Noble is Pop and Lolly and Pop.
Lollipop.
Lolly.
Lollipop.
No, we're not doing Lolly and Pop. I'm just saying.
I know,
That
I
ain't
was
no.
like,
I think it's
you
great.
lollygag around enough as it is.
I love that.
Lollipop.
No,
I would
not
be
gonna do
singing
that.
Lollipop the whole time. Lollipop.
Nope.
I would the whole time.
No,
No, that's just too.
I'll disown my grandkids if that's the case.
You will not.
I won't answer that.
He lies.
So you're initiated into the family, Leila. You've got your mother-in-law that can't say nothing right, but you get where you understand.
Mhm.
But then you have two sister-in-laws, Jamie and Brooke.
And Brooke.
Now, I want, guys, a good Brooke story because, see, Brooke hasn't come on here yet. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep telling Brooke stories until she has to shamelessly.
Keep telling
So that she can come
To
and
come
defend
her
herself.
honor.
Yeah.
Her
So she
honor.
can clarify. I don't know that there's a whole lot to clarify though with Brooke stories. Right?
No.
Because Brooke stories are just kind of, they are what they are.
Brooke is kind of you in some ways.
No, Brooke is me.
Jeff?
Brooke is me. Jamie
Brooke is, Brooke is mom.
Jamie's yours.
I mean, Brooke.
Yeah,
even
that's
says
true.
she's me.
Jamie's me.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
And then we had a Brooke.
It's just I look better with that makeup than Jamie does.
Yeah, they have a Brooke.
She's kind of a Brooke
And
and,
a
a
Julie.
Julie.
Yeah.
And I don't
Who's
know
that?
what else.
My sister Julie. Sophia is a
Sophia,
mixture
yeah.
of Brooke and my sister Julie.
Like Brooke when she was younger, like vicious and mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And no one believes you though.
Cruel.
She's so pretty. She's so
she's
sweet.
cruel. Right?
She's got a gorgeous smile, though. She does.
She gets you.
Her pranks. Like, so Ian dreads April Fools. But no, when I was deployed, that was because she pranks people.
But
when I was-
he sat down on the toilet seat one day,
Yes.
and got a really big surprise.
Of Vicks Vapor Rub. This is when I was
But
deployed.
Vicks-
I need everybody to know this.
But Vicks
Vicks
Vapor
Vapor
Rub
Rub on the toilet.
all over the toilet seat. And then not just a little bit. It was like almost a whole thing of Vicks Vapor Rub all over the
That's my
toilet
girl.
seat. It was saturated.
Yes. She found it on YouTube
Yeah.
or something. She saw it somewhere.
That would burn on the
Really?
buttocks.
Oh, yeah, I
It
think
did.
yeah, I wasn't there for it, but I heard
It
about it.
mentalizes it.
Hey, Amber, can you pick up some vapor rub from the store?
Anyway, Leila, so how are you doing? Michael keeps thinking it's about him. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it.
We're just giving him ideas. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's Mike's name first. I did that
Yeah,
on
no,
purpose.
I know. I'm fine with that.
So, anyways, we gotta tell some good family stories though, because I mean, there's too many of them not to share. You know.
She doesn't know any of them. We keep her.
Just laugh. I just
No,
laugh.
she sits in the background.
No,
and
she
cracks
does.
up.
She sits. She tries to stay out of it.
So it doesn't.
She's taking notes for future reference. That way she can blackmail us all later on in
and
life.
she knows how to wrangle her own kids when they have a outbreak of the chestnuts.
Although I
So-
can't get too mad though, because your family was kind of the reason we ended up getting together.
Right.
Well, yeah, because you were low wuss.
She can tell it. Let her tell it.
No, because Jamie, remember, had her sleepover and only invited me.
So, and here's the thing. So, like,
And then my sister was like, why wasn't
I
I,
mean,
invited?
I grew up independent
You're
Baptist, right? Mom raised me independent Baptist. We're independent Baptists. We're fundamentalists, right? That's
Mhm. Boys and girls
don't stay when girls have a sleepover. So I'm like, they're like, hey, we're gonna have a sleepover. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'll start making plans on going somewhere else. Like, oh no, it's okay. You can
Oh no, I
stay.
had sleepovers when my
And
brother
that's
was.
what I was
when
like-
my brothers were there.
Wait a minute.
You know, when they were
What's
going to
wrong
have
with
a
this?
sleepover with Weila,
When you did, we got locked in our bedroom.
yes,
Like we
Yeah.
were.
Wesley had a curtain.
Do you remember your first sleepover that
Did
you
I have a
had?
curtain?
No.
And they wanted to play under the blankets.
Oh please, not with you and guys. Yeah, they didn't play that.
This is a family
Nobody
show.
did.
Yeah.
Michael don't really know. He just dreamed it.
We didn't do that on that
I'll give you the
sleepover.
story.
Huh?
No.
Well, anyways, you had a sleepover with Wes before you got married, and
Yeah,
what-
that's where that came out.
Yeah. And now we're ruined. No, just joking.
No, that's just like that was how it kind of it started.
Yeah. I was like, no. They're like, no, you don't have to go nowhere. I'm like, that's
Yeah, but
that's
could tell
weird.
They were drawn to each other.
Oh yeah, we were definitely.
Right.
Every time we were at
And-
church, they were laughing and cracking up, sitting together. And
Yeah.
so we just
We did.
kinda-
Hold on. Yeah.
They pushed it.
Yeah, and then we had the sleepover. So they had the sleepover, and
We
then
had-
so
yeah,
I'm
let's
well. I was
rephrase
there.
that, yeah.
I was there,
You were there.
and then all of a sudden,
What?
we had this
What?
guy. He was in the Navy, always hung around the house, right? Who just showed up out of nowhere.
Oh, for the sleepover too. So that was kind of weird.
They heard that they were having a sleepover.
A sleepover.
And that was the other
Oh,
thing.
my
She
God.
was the only one invited.
No, but at this, yeah, I was the only one invited. But at the sleepover, remember, I went to use the bathroom. This is how I got into the family. I went to use the bathroom, and all I did was pee, and I flushed the toilet, and it overflowed. And apparently,
I forgot about that.
Oh, my stomach hurts because we're in. What is it with our
mop.
I don't know, but
So-
let her tell us.
No, Mamaw didn't apparently have a mop. So Wesley,
I just went into action. I mean, I grew up in the Chestnut House, right? I'm used
he
to.
just got
I'm used to
towels and
overflow
starts
toilets.
cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Oh my! I'm like, and I came out. I'm like, all I did was pee.
Right. And we always said, right.
That's the chunkiest pee ever.
Hey, sure, yeah, right. Okay.
No one believed me, and now I don't know why, but now I know why.
Yeah. All became clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But Leslie was kind of perfect because he just had sisters and there was 4 of them. So, you know.
Yeah, it was really funny though. Like
Yeah.
I just remember that I was very traumatized. And then that one time, I said something to you, and you're like, "Don't." I think I slapped you or something. You're like, "Don't touch me."
We were
again."
at
Like, oh my
Jason and Mandy Strickland's, and it was
God. I
the
take
whole.
things personally. Apparently,
It was the group that normally hung out over there after church. We went over there and we were playing. What was it?
I
Catchphrase.
don't remember what
But
we were.
it was a
playing.
church thing. They're the youth pastor.
Yes, it was a
Oh,
youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleepover, okay.
No, it's not
No.
a sleepover.
Yeah.
My
So
dad
we're
can't
all
watch
over there. We're
Dad
playing
can be horrified,
catchphrase.
You know
He
that.
was like, "This is why I was deployed."
Right? Yeah. But anyway, so we're playing this game, and then she slapped me for something. I forget what it was.
You probably said something,
I probably did. And I looked at her, and I was being sarcastic.
but he looked
Really?
very
Right.
serious. Very serious.
And I said, "Don't ever touch me again." Freaked out,
I did. I was like, "Oh my word!"
like freaked out.
But you know, serious, right? Like, and he just has that look.
It's
Like,
just my face. People.
you're
This is it.
stupid,
Well, he-
and I can't believe
That's
he
why
was a
Greg
white
has-
belt in karate, though.
Greg always goes. Greg always
I outrank
goes serious
him.
face when he joked, and people didn't know if he was
Oh yeah,
joking.
no one ever knew
Yeah.
when Greg was joking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg would say
Keep a
something.
straight
Yeah, he
face.
calls Tammy tummy. You know, certain things, and people are like, "Ugh," horrified. I'm like, come on, man. He's really
it's very traumatizing. But we still ended up together.
Yeah.
Such a love story made.
made for a chestnut reed.
The first time I met him, I thought he was some kid skipping out on church, and I gave him a very dirty look.
I was doing security for church that night,
And I
for the
showed up
parking
late.
lot security,
I remember
right?
that.
So I was walking around the church. She showed up late, by the way.
I was coming from a different church.
Mhm.
I was being double spiritual.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Or you were so bad you needed 2 church services.
I needed
Right, yeah.
services.
So she shows up late, comes in. All I know is a pretty girl walking to church. I was, what,
I don't know, but you look like you were 12.
18, 19, something like that?
He looked like he was.
I did look like I was 12. I've seen pictures of me back then. I looked like I was 12. And
I gave him a really dirty look. Like I
Yeah.
thought he was skipping out on church.
so I was like, well, fine. So I gave her a dirty look back.
that's how we started out.
You were destined.
It's
from
like
that
love at
moment.
first sight.
We were.
No, it was
Yeah.
disgust.
Yeah, disgust.
Disgust.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you show up late for
Yeah.
church, you heathen.
Already judging each other.
Always.
Wow.
Yeah. But that makes for a
So
good
that's-
Yeah,
marriage.
the fundamentalism.
Judge each
Yeah.
other. You judge each other when you're married.
Yeah. Worked out well.
Yeah.
It makes for a good Baptist reunion, wedding, and stuff.
Right?
So, you know.
Just prepared us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were with your family, I mean, they always had stuff happen to them. But so did you go on deputation with your dad when he was a missionary?
Weird because we started out when we went to Germany, the exchange rate was really high, and it was before the drawdown of the troops, so we had a larger church. So originally he didn't have to do deputation. He did 6 weeks, gathered some support, the church could sustain us. Well, in 89, the dollar started dropping, and so then we actually went to do deputation after we'd been on the field for 7 years. So we did it in the middle of it. So yes, we did deputation for about 2 years.
Isn't that
And
fun?
my dad took a bus, a 40-foot bus, and converted it into a motorhome, which was beautiful inside. Like, he did great work. But there was 6 of us, 4 girls, and my mom and dad. So we had 2 of them were teenagers because I was still 7, 8, and 9 at the time.
He's the most patient man
My dad is
you'll ever meet in
very
your
patient.
life.
I know he's
But yeah, 6 of us in that bus. And so we'll go
I didn't know that.
we'll go by a bus sometimes. Like when the Rochesters came to our church here in North Carolina, and the kids went by and they're like, that would be so cool. And I'm like, nope.
No, you would no.
No, it wouldn't. Of course, theirs was a lot nicer than
nothing,
ours,
child.
but I was like,
no, nothing.
you
It's
would not. Yeah.
Yeah,
You would
I had
not like
flashbacks of the 40-foot trailer that we traveled with, So I was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 2 years. Except after the first year, my older sister went to college. So then it was just 5 of us living in there. So the table would go down into a bed, and then the little couch would come out into a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Dad was a missionary when we were kids?
we wouldn't be here today. We would
No,
we'd be
because
6 foot under.
first off, they would have to have 3 bathrooms
The
and
bus would explode from methane.
I wasn't bad back then. I didn't have that bad of a
Nothing.
mission back then.
what?
I didn't have that bad of a mission back then.
I know me neither. It was once we turned adults that our problem
Middle age,
became.
Mike. Middle age.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, middle age.
Yeah.
That's what I call it anyway.
So, anyways,
Welcome to middle age, Wes.
Takes me longer to get out of bed, that's for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. That's the
Well, me
army,
and Bill,
though.
when we get out of bed, me and Bill start out humped over, and before we get to the bathroom or the closet, we're both finally straight up. But it starts out like
No.
Were
When
you-
Wesley had got the cane when they gave him when you got the cane for from the doctor, I was really like, you're making me look old. So I gave him so
She
much crap for this
Made
cane.
so much fun of me
It was horrible.
for having to walk with a cane, right? And then her surgeries, right? And they're like, you have to walk with a cane
A walker. It was a walker.
or a walker.
but
They
it
had made her
only-
walk with a walker.
no, I
So
did
then he
not.
made fun of me.
the Pat Paul's
I
gonna
did
hit.
not make fun of you. I didn't say a word. Didn't say
I
a
think
word.
Ian did. You know what, though? I have to say,
Ian
look,
said everything.
I
just didn't disagree with him.
had 4 surgeries, and this man has done everything for me. Everything from stripping my drains, wiping my butt, everything for 4 surgeries. And then I came back from my last surgery, went back to work, and went directly into the field. So we were having field exercises. We were playing war, right? And I go into night shift. I come back and I just want to sleep. And this man crawls in bed. I'm like, you're kidding me. And he starts kind of moaning. And I'm like, it's his back or whatever. He's always complaining about something, right? And then he's like, I think you're going to have to take me to the doctor. I'm like, no, I just want to sleep.
She's
So
like,
then he goes, yeah. And so then he goes to the bathroom and he's throwing up. And I'm like, I can't stand throw up. So now I'm mad because I can hear him throwing up and he knows I don't do throw up. And he's doing this on
Wes, how
purpose.
dare you?
She doesn't have to clean anything up, by the way.
No.
Nothing. Doesn't have to clean
Well,
anything up.
come to
Made it
find
this way
out-
on my own. Yeah.
he's in all this pain. He ends up having kidney stones. And I was livid the entire time taking him to the ER. I was mad. I had to apologize. Everyone at my job even knew I had to apologize to him. This man did everything for me. after I had surgery, but I wanted to sleep because I was on night shift in the field.
She was still mad at me after we found out it was kidney stones when we got home.
I was still mad. I didn't
Still
get to
mad.
sleep that day, and I had to go back and pull a 12-hour shift.
Cause kidney stones because you cause kidney stones to yourself.
Not necessarily. It's not what you eat or drink. Because like when I got mine,
Oh, brother, here we go.
I was smoking. I got rebellious in my later years, and I know I just blew everybody's mind out there. Michael Chestnut at the age of 40 started smoking.
Such an idiot.
Well, because I was rebellious.
Now that's 4 times. Yeah.
4 times you called me an idiot.
Yes.
And I started smoking, and I like menthol cigarettes. So that this one year I had like 6 kidney stones. Remember? And what was really bad was yeah. And what was funny was so they gave me this drain thing.
Oh my God.
That I had to go in the bathroom and catch.
They get one of
He
those.
didn't get one.
He was on medication.
But I was on medication, so I'm like wobbly. So Becky makes Bill. Bill,
No,
you got.
I didn't make Bill.
Amber. So
Amber made Bill.
make Bill go into the bathroom with me and says, Bill, you need to go in there and help him hold that.
She was afraid Mike was going to fall.
No, I do not need a hope. Not holding nothing. Nope.
Bill said, I'll go in there, make sure he doesn't fall. And that was it.
I was
Wow.
like, Bill,
He was,
hold my hand. Hold my hand, Bill.
Oh, no.
I almost said I wouldn't do that, but I guess I have to do that at work when I watch people do UAs, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
But anyway,
No.
so I finally went to the doctor. They had to do this lithotripsy thing on me where they shoot shock waves up, crush it, all this stuff, you know. And it was terrible. I passed out when I came home because it's like instead of having 1 kidney stone, then it made it like 100 sand spurs, you know. So anyways, I'm like dying. Amber's trying to get me to quit smoking, you know, because I'm like, no, I'm going to smoke. And
my nerves are shot.
and then anyways, the doctor calls me and says, oh, we found out what's causing your kidney stones. And so I had already passed out from the pain was so bad. I passed out in the bathroom, hit my head on the toilet, had to go to the doctor, ER that night, stuff like that. So anyways, the doctor calls me, he says, we found out what was causing me. He goes, I go, what, doc, what's causing me? He goes, well, it's coming from the menthol cigarettes you're smoking. It's crystallizing, and that's what's causing it. And I went, well, doc, what are we going to do? And I already said, well, I guess we're going to quit smoking if that's what you want to do, you know? And I was like, well, I don't know. I went back in past another one. I went and sat him down, never picked him up again.
Should never pick him up.
And listen, you know, I was not the only one who smoked in our family.
No. I don't look at me. It wasn't me.
It was mom.
No, mom didn't smoke.
Yeah, didn't they smoke before they got saved?
No, dad did. Mom did not.
Oh,
Mom had
you
there's a
told
picture
on
with
dad. I was telling mom she's gone. She can't do nothing.
well, they weren't going to church. They weren't living for the Lord. But there is a picture where mom had a cigarette, but she was goofing around.
I don't know. Mom
That's what-
says that,
that's
but
her
mom
story
also
anyway.
says that was dumb.
That's her story.
No,
And she stuck to it to the day she died.
Oh yeah, I think it's like how did it get lit? But you know, I remember when we all found that because mom was wearing shorts too.
Short.
At this point in our life, we had never seen mom in nothing but a pair in dresses or a pair of culottes.
I was like,
Right.
when I saw my mom.
And
in
so we're
pants the
going through
first time.
all these old pictures, and here's mom in shorts, Daisy Dukes.
No,
and
they were
they
not.
were Daisy Dukes.
Oh my
Becky.
gosh, Michael. He's such
Don't see it. I can't see it. No.
How
And if
can
it
you
does
have
exist, I don't
now?
wanna see it.
You're getting the book, and St. Peter's going, Brella, can you come back over here? Mike just said something we didn't know. So, anyways, but we freaked out because we were
Are you
like,
Catholic?
what?
St. Peter's? Oh my
It's
god.
not St. Peter's. It's St. Peter.
What? It wasn't me that time.
Well, folks,
Leila. Anyway, this is about Leila.
we've been talking about it for a while, and you just witnessed it.
That was not
So
me
we're gonna
that
edit
time.
this part
That's
out.
Florida.
No, we're not. That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
we're doing. Okay. Do you know how to edit?
No.
Oh.
Live.
Oh man.
Hmm.
So anyway,
Well, and then we were talking about some other stories before we came on here. What were some of the other stories we knew
About Leila?
about anything?
Oh, what you talking about?
Look at Becky. Becky's got her thinking face on. It looks like her constipation face. So, not that we really are ever.
I think people really feel sorry for me how I had to grow up with you as a brother, but
Really? I remember one time Becky
no,
thought
we're
someone,
talking about Leila. Mike.
Becky thought
So
someone broke
Leila.
into the house, and Becky, it's not one of your bathroom stories. Becky,
Somebody did break into the house.
someone broke into the house. Okay.
They did.
Becky gives me a butter knife
I did give him a
to
butter.
defend myself, and she's got 2 butcher knives.
Yeah, 'cause
And then we're sitting
you
out in
know.
the yard in lawn chairs because this
we're sitting out in the
person.
yard in lawn chairs.
We were. Whose story is this?
Evidently, you were
Okay, well, where were we?
We were at home, but we were standing outside. I called Ron Cunningham or Bonnie. I can't
And I
remember.
went and sat in a lawn chair because
Well, maybe
all I
you-
had was a butter knife. What was I going to do? Spread them. You know?
But there was a guy that he can't stand him. And then, but we saw them. You saw them. It was just me and him, and they ran out. They were in Dad's office. They had gone through some things at Dad's office. Dad thinks he knows who it was, and they ran out and they ran into a car that was sitting there. It was stupid. But anyway, so Leila.
It was the
Leila.
Baptist Mafia. Becky also used to. So at night we would hear Becky. She would go, "Hey, I see one! I see one!" And we
Sophia tries to
wake
do
up
that.
the whole family. We run out there. She's in her window looking. It's a UFO. Look, it's a UFO. And Greg would always go, "Oh." Not one time, Becky. It was more than
It
one
was
time.
one time
Greg,
because there
We're
looked
gonna
like
do this episode called "Where in the World Is Instead of Waldo? Where's
it looks
Greg?"
like
Because I need Greg to verify my
chitty
stories.
chitty bang bang because it looked like
What did you say?
chitty chitty.
I know. I heard that too. I heard
And
it.
it looked and it came through and it looked like they were flying. And I'm like, Dad, what is this?
So you thought it was chitty chitty
No.
bang bang up there flying?
So anyway, long story short story long. So it
Big
looks like
fan,
the
Dyke.
car, and I'm like, what
Let's
in
go
the
with
world? Dad's looking at it too because O'Hare had a landing, pattern, but that they had changed it so it was further out and was closer to the house than what it was because they used to be higher. And anyway, they got closer to the house, and that's what
Becky's
it was.
going, E.T. phone home.
Michael's like 5 years younger than me. He doesn't remember anything.
I
about
I
it.
do
Yeah.
remember.
PT when we saw that space thing go up, SpaceX go up.
Oh yeah.
I was at PT. I was in BLC, basic leader course training. whatever.
BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes.
Oh my God.
I was in sergeant school, and I was I was the platoon leader in front of our platoon, and I was like trying to take count of everybody, and all of a sudden it was was it SpaceX?
SpaceX launched.
SpaceX launched, and man, we all thought it was a freaking UFO. We thought it was, yeah. We were like, we were all sitting there, and then we were like, it's Russia.
Right? Yeah.
We were like,
Well, if you don't know, it's like what goes through
And
your
then we
mind.
saw what Russia was really capable of.
and then we're like, oh, never mind.
It wasn't Russia, but we're good. We're good.
We're fine. 100% fine.
It was one of us, so we're good, right?
Always.
I know, right?
Always.
But we literally didn't know.
Yeah.
We really thought, like, we didn't know what to think, actually. But it was also really early in the morning, so we weren't halfway thinking.
I was asleep,
You were asleep.
so I was good.
You
I
didn't
didn't think it
see
was UFO.
No, he was asleep.
Becky
This was like,
Becky was there. She would
Well,
have watched
it's not that I didn't get to see
this
it.
was 5 in the morning, I think.
I didn't care.
Yeah, I think it was 5 in the morning. So no, he didn't care.
I was tired.
That's cool that you got to see that, even though you didn't know what it was at first. But I mean,
No, we had, and it was not my intention. It's just we were out there about to do PT. So
And then everybody was talking about it at work later. They're like, "Did you see it?" I was like, no. They're like, "What were you doing?" I was like, "I was sleeping in my bed."
Wes could sleep through anything though when he was a kid. I don't know about.
can.
Oh well, so I literally can, and I've proved it. So I was in Iraq, and I remember
Yeah.
I was in Iraq, and I had just gotten back from an operation, and I came back, and I went to my room, and I fell asleep. I slept during the day, right? I was exhausted.
But no one woke you up with a kidney stone.
No one woke me up with kidney stone. This is what I deal with, people. But anyway, yeah. So all of a sudden I wake up to someone banging on my door, right? And I open the door. It's my team sergeant Todd, and he's like, so you're alive? I went, yeah. You literally saw me walk in here and go. He's like, no. He's like, you completely missed the alarms going off because we just got shelled. I went,
Oh my goodness.
I like peeked my head out, looking around, like,
God is good.
slept in the whole thing. Yeah.
Well,
He wasn't even scared at all. Yeah,
No,
he
he could
yeah.
sleep. He could sleep through anything, and like I could go in there and vacuum his room. I'd do anything, and Grandma Carrie loved to come in and vacuum because she would go. We had an old bed, and it would go and he'd scream. And she'd vacuum it, and he would sleep through it. He slept through anything. I mean, when his kid, and if you'd go for dinner, I get dinner done, and I'm like, and I'd holler at the kids to come dinner, and he wouldn't be around. I'm like, I'd know to go in his bedroom. He'd be in his bed sleeping.
See, that's what we should tell Grandma Carrie stories.
Oh no. Wait, let's wait a few. Wow.
Oh, she won't care.
No, it's the door locked. That's what she says to me. All the
Well,
time.
we'll have her on one day. Hey,
She'll
let's go
say,
on.
"Oh, you're so silly." Yeah. Like,
Don't eat the meatloaf. It wasn't cooked.
no.
No, it was.
She made us sing for our dinner
for our
one year
dinner.
Did you hear me?
And then
that she cooked.
yeah, we had to sing for it.
Didn't she put spray it with the oven? She told everyone,
What?
"Are you okay?" And she had sprayed the
She
oven.
cleaned the oven. We had a
oven.
roast beef, and it was really good. It
But
was
she
really
had-
good. I don't know if it was
It was good.
when they were in Michigan, and then we were all sitting back because she was a good baker, and she could cook meat okay. But we were sitting back, and we're just all enjoying and talking. And she said, "Does everybody feel okay?" Does everybody feel? I'm like, yeah. And we're like, "Oh no, what happened?" And she said, "I sprayed the oven last night with oven spray, and I forgot to clean it out." But she had a meatloaf one time, and that was when we were going to feed the missionaries. And she went to warm it up, and it had Saran wrap on it. She forgot to take the Saran wrap off. But anyway,
So it was a little rubbery
Yeah.
taste to it.
But
you know.
anyway, back to
Oh, there
Leila.
was the one time that she found chocolate on the floor.
Oh yeah, no corn. Yeah, chocolate, corn.
Yeah.
Wesley and Wesley said to her, "What? Do you remember that time you
It
told her?"
wasn't me. That was I think
No,
it was Dad.
you dropped corn, like a couple pieces of corn, and it was like on the edge of the carpet from the dining room into her kitchen.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that. She went ballistic.
She went ballistic. And what did you say?
I mean,
to her?
Oh, I couldn't remember.
You
I
said
couldn't remember.
Grandma Carrie wouldn't turn me in for anything if I murdered.
Oh, I
anybody.
said Grandma Carrie wouldn't turn me in for murder. She
Yeah.
turned me in because I got blood on the carpet.
That's exactly right. When
Yeah.
he said that, he was like, "Well, you were young when he said it," and it was so hilarious when we were all laughing. And she's just like,
Yes, I always
Yeah,
loved
but
it.
no, I was talking about she had the dog, that Yorkie, and well, actually, it may have been when Dad was a kid because I think it was Dad that told the story where they had the dog, and there was something on the floor, and she thought it was chocolate, so she picked it up, threw it in her mouth, and went, and it wasn't chocolate.
So
It was not
gross.
chocolate,
So
yeah.
gross.
So
When they had, I remember. So her and Frank they hadn't been saved very long, and they had the youth group over, and they lived on this thing. They had all this pond and all this stuff, and me and Roger had just got into the youth group.
"Yeah, they
So
got
we go-
introduced to Roger and Mike."
Yes,
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
They first
So-
get there.
So we get there. Me and Roger go down to the lake, and we find a great find. We've never seen this before. And I come running up to your grandpa Frank, and I go, "Look! We found Siamese frogs. We can't get them apart." And apparently, they were mating. And
Yeah, apparently.
Frank and Shirley, they're sitting there, they're like, they don't even know what to say to me. You know, we're like, "This is so awesome! I've never seen Siamese frogs before."
I tried to raise my kids better.
Oh man! Wow.
That's funny.
Doesn't mean I
Yeah.
didn't. But I tried.
And then
Oh.
there was lots of times. I stayed over there when Mom and Dad were gone somewhere. And so they had me stay over there, and me and Julie were fighting over a piece of cake. And this is when, like you were talking about, don't get blood on the floor, all this stuff. Well, we were pulling on this little plate, and the plate broke in
I
half.
remember that.
Oh my word!
Got mad. Me and Julie were laughing so hard. She was so mad about that plate. And then she
Checking to see if everybody was okay and cut or anything like that. It was you broke my plate. Yeah.
So, what was your introduction to her when you really? I mean, I know you heard stories, Leila. You heard stories, but do you remember the first time you ever
Stories.
These are
The
true.
first time the first time I met her was at her wedding, so I really didn't get to meet her. Then, but I guess it was.
I remember Leila after she met her. She's like, she's so nice.
Oh, I know.
I said, wait.
Yeah, and she is.
She's always been so great to me.
We always tell these stories.
Yeah, no. Oh, so like I think
nice.
the first time I did was that time that we had to sing for our dinner.
Yeah.
It was Christmas, right? Or Thanksgiving.
For your dinner.
It was
We had to
Thanksgiving,
sing for our dinner. And then Ian, our oldest, was little and he loved mashed potatoes. And we sat down to eat. She made
the mashed potatoes.
And he took a bite and he went, like just spewed it out.
Did not like it at all.
No, but she did. We had to sing. I remember that.
Before we could eat.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to eat.
We could not eat until we sang.
Oh, this other thing I remember was I didn't know about her particularness about her car and everything. And I was, I didn't know this. And
I'm still mad about this one.
But she loves me. I was riding with her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Grandma, she was just as particular about her car
apparently.
As she was about her house. You couldn't have anything in her car.
Yeah.
No food, no drinks, no nothing.
But
you couldn't even chew gum.
I was riding with her and we were in Branson and Rory was there and Roy wanted to ride with us. So I said, okay. And I said, oh, wait, grab your cup because we just came back from a restaurant. And okay. And Grandma Carrie didn't say nothing to me, but Wes and Brooke and Jamie were like, oh, and I'm like, what did I do? And they're like, she doesn't allow you to have drink in the car. Well, she didn't say no to me. So just
saying. Was the favorite.
I did. I know. That's when I was like, I can do it.
I've heard that because
yeah,
me.
It was really funny though because I didn't know they literally had a freak out moment and I didn't know what I had done. And then
I was getting ready to defend my wife.
They were jealous
to the death right there, and then she didn't say a word.
He always talks
and
about
then I was mad,
trying to defend me. You're going to start
Leila,
a fight.
she was always that way with me too. She was that way with me too. I could do anything.
That's true.
And she was like, I think it was, but she treated me like I was special ed. I think that was what it was.
Oh, well, what are you trying to say about me, Uncle Mike? Maybe that's what she thinks about me. Bless her.
They're just special.
What are you saying to Leila?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're special like that.
Oh, that was
special, but not Ed.
Get the town
earlier
or Edith or anybody.
That's what I want.
Oh yeah, Grandma Carrie was always good stories, and then Mom. Did she ever get your name right? Because Mom never got.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mama likes me.
It's a different story.
Papa, no, I was Lily.
Lily of the Valley.
I was Lily.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, but Mama got me right.
They weren't never divorced. They were the first mates, so that's why.
That's why. Well, so what? Mom called Amber and Dad called Amber Heather for a long time. I'm like, I've never dated or married a Heather.
Who is Heather? And I'm like, there's no.
We don't know a Heather.
No Heather.
And I think that's what we're going to put on Amber's tombstone. Here lies Heather. Chestnut.
Otherwise known as Heather.
That's really funny. No.
AKA Heather.
They got like Grandma and Grandpa because Grandma and Grandpa were that way. Chestnut, they can never say, I can't say Jamie, but I can say
Amy.
You know?
And say Jamie.
She did that with Ian. She said, she would literally say it this way, I can't say Ian, but I can say Peeing. It's like, well, you're not going to call my son Peeing. Not going to do that. It's not his name. And you just said his name to let us know that you can't say his name. Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah.
But Leila, you know you have arrived when you're in one of Papa's sermons. So
was she in the sermon?
I don't know. That's the
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll have Dad preach to you when you come.
We're gonna have him preach.
Oh, preach just to me. Just to me.
Right.
He's gonna preach to Leila.
I'll write a list.
It'll be a special broadcast of Growing Up Chestnut, and we'll set up pews at the house and have Dad up there.
Leila, he didn't really talk about anybody in his sermons except for Mike. Sometimes Greg, but Mike and Mom.
Me and Mom were always the subject.
They were always the subject. So you don't want him to talk.
And then when Dad would
There's a lot of material there.
I mean, I already got that. I was in my dad's sermons a lot. I got called down from the pulpit a lot, you know.
Me too. Dad
I can
did,
see that.
Yeah.
Dad did that.
There was no shame. Yeah. Yeah. Like it was, but my dad didn't call me by my first name. It was my middle name. So I'd be like, Jean, straighten up. Like, he didn't care.
No, Mom.
Everybody's going, who's Jean?
Yeah, who's Jean? That was a good thing. Like, wait, who's that?
The Mom could be in the choir loft, and she had the evil eye. Mom had that evil eye. She just go, and I'm telling you what, you could have your back turned to you, and you turn around and you sit up straight.
My mom had this snap.
I was afraid of Mom, man. She showed that eye. It was like, ooh, you know, can we wait for Dad to get home?
Snap like my mom, though, don't I?
Yeah.
When I get on.
Well, Dad had he would flick us on the back of the head, and would like thump. Like, maybe he didn't do it to Jamie and Brooke, but he definitely did it to me a couple times. Mom had a pinch.
It wasn't a pinch. It was a love squeeze.
Oh.
Right, that's what you call
And
it.
it was
Sure.
just it was little skin. I took a big old chunk so it wouldn't hurt as bad.
And I think that, I don't know if I think we shared that story once, but we shared again. Because that was what was funny. Becky would pinch them in church, and Anna Cruz wanted to do that.
Yeah, Jose said, "How do you?" Yeah. Well, no, because when the Bazes told me they love to sit behind us because they go, they say, "You just sit forward." I don't even know what the kids did, and all of a sudden they said they would open their mouth like birds and go, and no sound, like they were being fed. No sound was that. And I know that one time Jose and Anna were saying, "How do you do that without them?" Because Mickey especially was not. He'd go, but so I said, I don't look at them, and I just take their skin from on their thigh and just kind of squeeze. And I said, and they know they're in big dark trouble. And so
Dark.
One of them decided, I don't know if it was Jose, I think it was Jose, and he decided to do that to Mickey. That's what Becky does. And he did it to Mickey. Mickey goes, "Ow, yes!" It's like the whole place. I'm like, Jose goes, "It didn't work for me."
My sister would always get me in trouble with my mom. So like we were on Deputation.
Mine
We were
too.
on furlough one time, and we have to sit, close to the front. And then when you're missionaries, you have to introduce your family. So Cheryl, would you please stand? And then all of us. And we were teenagers at this time. And my sister, I was the last one because I was the youngest, and like to introduce my baby daughter, and I'd have to stand up. And my sister had a really long thumbnail, and she just put her thumb just like that on my seat. And so I went and sat down, and I'm like, right when I sit down, right up my backside. And so I jumped up and grabbed my behind, and I screamed. And my mom, that was my sister. So I blame her for all of that.
That's funny. Yeah.
Literally, because you have to sit on the front when you're missionaries.
Oh,
I don't know what the rule is about that, but
I hate
front
sitting
row.
in the front to this day because of that.
I know.
Yeah.
And
And you have to sing, and you have to speak the language. Say something in German to us. Why? You're not going to know what I'm saying.
Well, we had to sit in the back. We always sat in front, but the teenagers, we got one of our teen leaders. We all sat in the back. And I loved it.
Right.
Loved it. And then one time he wasn't there, and we all sat in the back, and we caused trouble. So it was back to the front for the teenagers.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated that and that's why I think you're right. That's why I don't like to sit in the front row, because our friends at church, they're the front row people. They like to sing and do all this, and I'm like, I don't want to be up there. And I think it's because I think it's PTSD from baptism.
Yes, Steve.
Because we didn't have a choice to where we wanted to sit. Even when we were older.
We've coined a term at our church for that. It's IFB PTSD.
There you go. Independent, fundamental, Bible believing PTSD, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I have it.
No, I know you have. You got a lot more than that. You got IBS, IP. What is it? What was it?
There's not enough letters in the alphabet to fill out that acronym.
So one of our favorite trips. Do you remember one of our favorite trips with Wes? We won't tell Wes's story because I don't want to scar him forever. But it was on the way back. We went to, where was it? North Carolina.
It was Manio. I know what story you're talking about.
Yeah. And
I'll never forget that story.
When it's worse than that, then you got.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, anyways, they had a hurricane come through there, and the Lily Jarrett and her husband were there, and
Did we just talk about this?
we done it on here. We talked about it beforehand.
Oh,
my sister is so
okay.
So, anyways, so Lois hasn't heard all of it yet. So, anyways, we went on the me and Lily Jarrett and her husband thought, hey, we never seen a hurricane, so we're gonna go out to the beach and watch a hurricane. So we go out to the beach to watch it, and there's like 70-mile-an-hour winds, coming, and that sand was like sandblasting. Lily didn't have any makeup on by the time we left there.
Your faces were like,
and I didn't have to shave for like a week.
No wrinkles in the face
because you didn't have any skin on your face.
It was like, and then we're like trying to get back, the car's flying off. So, anyways, but the worst part was we're driving back from there.
Yeah, the next day, I think it was.
The next day, we're going back to
Illinois?
No, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing but, so the storm came all the way in, so there was no power anywhere.
Like 300 and something miles.
Everything was shut down. All power, all plumbing, everything was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. 300 something miles. And the highway, 4-lane, 8-lane, it didn't matter. There was debris, like trees and all kinds of stuff.
Lois, have you heard this? You haven't heard this story, have you? So we go.
Who are you calling Lois?
Just call you Lois? He did.
Yes.
And I responded.
Yes, she did. She didn't even break stride with it. Yeah.
Okay, go with it.
Okay.
So, anyways, we're driving. So we're going back. All of a sudden, and Chris knew. I'm in the front seat with Chris, and I told Chris, I said, we have 2 minutes to find a bathroom.
Excuse me. It's my second time.
It always chokes her up. We have 2 minutes to find a bathroom. And so if you know me, 2 minutes means 2 minutes. I've got this down. We are driving.
2 minutes means a minute and a half, actually. Yeah.
It is an hour later, and Chris knows I'm over here grabbing the bar. I'm like dying.
We were trying to find you.
But everything was shut down. We pulled into gas stations. They're closed because there's no power. So I see this nice hotel. I said, stop there, because at least a nice hotel is going to have a bathroom in the lobby, right? I know that. So they pull up there, and I go running into the hotel. I do the walk of shame. I'm running in there
to the
hotel, squeezing all the way there. And I tell the guy, do you guys have a public bathroom? He goes, well, yeah, but there's no windows. I'm like,
there's no light.
I'm like, well, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, does he know me? And I'm like, and I run in the bathroom because I can't wait. Well, the reason why he said no windows, because there's no power, there's no lights. So as soon as the door shut, it's pitch dark, right? Well, now
this is before cell phones had flashlights, folks.
Yeah, yes, we didn't have cell phones or anything like that. So I'm kicking my way to the bathroom, to the toilet, to try and find myself to get there, right? I finally find the toilet. I'm like, oh, great. And everybody goes to the bathroom, you got to pull your pants down. So I'm pulling my pants down to go to the toilet. Well, as I go down, the seat was up. So as I'm going down, I'm also going. And so,
oh Lord,
I fall into the toilet.
Oh no!
Okay? It submerges me, and I am like, my feet are at this point, because we're short, are dangling off of the toilet because I'm flipped inside this toilet, right? So everybody's outside, okay, and I'm like, all of a sudden, I just scream. I go, ah, because I know men don't really flush a lot. So I'm probably not in there by myself. I'm freaking out. Okay. So anyways, I get out. I can't. There's no light.
I can't stop him.
She can't stop me. There's no lights, right? So I have to take my pants off.
Filter.
I took my I was bottomless.
He has no filter.
And so anyways, I'm cleaning myself.
With
and
the
then
toilet water?
No, with the sink. I found my way to the sink. I pushed the garbage can though in front of the door so nobody could come in.
It wouldn't surprise me though.
And so I put a garbage can there. So I wash myself. I go to dry. All they have are the electric air dryers. So I can't even dry. Okay. So I have to go get toilet paper and dry myself off with toilet paper. Okay.
Oh, and that's
So anyways,
not.
I've been in the bathroom an
crumbles.
hour
It just
probably.
keeps getting worse.
So we have a caravan of people. Who was it?
John Goodman and his
John Goodman, Mr. Funny
Oh
Guy.
man, John
I walked
Goodman.
out
That was the best
and they had a
part.
porty pot sitting
Well,
out there.
they had twins and they were potty training them, so they were carrying.
Oh, they had that
potty
little one.
and
Yes.
toilet paper with them.
Yeah. So I come out to that. I'm like, haha, not funny because nobody knows what I just went through in there.
Yeah, we
you know?
laughed. It was funny. It was funny.
We
It was
get to the
hysterical.
hotel that night. We get to the hotel that night, and I go in the bathroom, and I look like a mummy. I got toilet paper stuck, wet toilet paper. Now I look like a paper paper. What is it? Yeah, paper.
Mache.
Paper mache. Yeah.
Paper mache Mike. I was a paper mache Mike because I had it all over top of me. That was the worst.
Do you remember that?
Wow.
It was funny.
Yeah, and so the best part of that is when I haven't heard that story in a while, and then I hear it again and realize I've forgotten parts of it, and it just brings
the
me
bad
more
part
joy.
was on the way there. Remember, we had a bathroom issue. We stopped at this Wendy's, and I come walking out, and I'm like, everybody's looking at me laughing. I'm like checking my zipper, all that. I'm like, what's so funny? So I get out to the car, and as I get in the car, Jamie goes, Uncle Mike, you got toilet paper. I had a big roll of toilet paper that would follow me. So I'm in the car back seat, and I lean forward to get the toilet paper out, and Becky shuts the door, and it cracks my head in between the door and that. So I got blood coming down my head.
We got toilet paper for it.
And I'm in the back seat. And so I go, Becky, you just cut me. Now I got blood pouring out, and Becky goes, well, I couldn't have done that. That was in the front seat. And Chris is like, doesn't matter. He's bleeding, you know. And Jamie and Wes and them are back there laughing.
I'm like, how are you? I kept saying, how are you in the back seat and you get your head where I'm going to shut the front seat door, and you get. I still don't know how he did
I
it.
had toilet paper in my back of my pants. So
Only Mike.
Lean forward to do the, you've got to.
That means you lean forward and went past your door into my door.
You like how he's acting it all out right now, so everybody gets a visual picture of how this played out.
Well, Becky doesn't understand.
I don't get it, and I don't feel responsible because he knew there's an open door, and he's in the back seat. So how do you know? Anyway, let's go. Let's move on.
There has to be a way that we can find somebody out there. So maybe some of your viewers can, who's an artist or something. You all need to do a cartoon, an animated cartoon of all of these stories.
I know,
but they're true, and this is what's sad.
See, I want to do an episode on our bathroom.
To the dialogue that's on the show.
Sorry,
we got so many bathroom stories.
And
no, we don't.
We do.
No, we don't. Anyway, Leila, so how are you doing? It's
Well,
good to have you in the family.
We're already past our time, Becky. We're already past our time now.
She has presented me with beautiful grandchildren. We're talking about her.
Paduki. So
I hate him. I do. I hate him. Anyway, go ahead.
what's going to happen?
I hate him
one day.
lovingly, but
So I'm the only one that can edit the videos. That's the good part. Well, Wes is learning now, so
hey, Wes.
I have to
Mama's got
steal it
something to
before
do.
Wes gets it. So, anyways, well, guys, thank you for joining us tonight
We're
on
supposed-
this. And
Even though Mike took over.
I think we have the record of the longest growing up chestnut episode
I'm
at
going
this
to
point.
edit it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be edited to all the.
Be afraid.
the
Be
stuff.
very afraid.
he's gonna cut our words.
Right.
Like,
I already know the title of our show too.
What?
Lois.
Why Lois?
Lois.
Why Lois?
Lois. That was her name.
Lois.
It was. Yeah.
Story.
Lois.
Lois, not
Oh, well, I probably was because I'm you. Oh my guys, thank you for joining us, and all you guys. Next week on Growing Up Chestnut.
tell Ian. Ian's one of our biggest fans.
Yeah, Ian.
Is-
We're gonna get kids on here soon. That's what we need.
He gets very upset when it doesn't go on Spotify because that's how he watches you
Oh,
or listens to you.
We'll make sure it goes on
Yes,
Spotify.
he's like, Mom, they didn't put it on Spotify this week. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Just send it to me. I forgot. I'll get it on Spotify.
Don't forget anymore.
Okay. At least we got somebody that listens to us.
Well, we got
Does.
Missy.
Yeah,
Missy. No,
Two people.
Pretty
yeah.
faithfully. Yeah.
Missy's her name, huh?
Oh, I know. Watch it on the big TV.
That's what we're probably going to do.
Yep.
And
All right. Well,
enjoys
guys,
it.
thank you for coming on the show. And until next time,
Thank you. I know this was not very nice.
love you.
Mike was nice. Love you too.
Getting us used to coming down there.
Yeah,
I love
right.
you guys.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.